Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of Slow Blink Anime. My name's Phil.
I'm Candace.
And today we're going to talk about My Hero Academia again. We watched 2 episodes since the last show. We saw episode 70 and 71. So 70 wasn't super exciting, but we did get a lot of information and build up in that episode. It was called Go. And pretty much everything was happening. At the beginning, they were doing staking out the places and trying to find the hideout where Eri was and trying to narrow it down. And like a lot of the students, like Deku especially, was just Deku and Mirio. Yeah, training and worrying about like when they were gonna get that message that the raid's gonna be this day. And finally they get the text message in the middle of the night and they all meet up and start discussing it. And that was pretty funny because everyone was like in the middle of sleep and they just came in like whatever. And their hair was messed up and stuff. But and then we get the shot with Mirio. He's just by himself, just there, because he knows this stuff was like this mistake he was talking about with like letting Eri go. Mm-hmm. That was like really been on his mind the whole time, especially Deku too. It was really showing. But after that, the next very important thing was we get that explanation where Night Eye finally used his quirk, which we weren't sure if he was gonna do.
Yeah, that was kind of like a big argument on the previous episode. Yeah. Everybody was wondering, like, why don't you just go ahead and use it? But he finally found the perfect timing for it. Mm-hmm. And then he just had a hunch that he needs to use his quirk on that, the new caretaker of Eri.
Yeah, the one, he was in the toy shop looking for toys.
Yeah, and then he was able to found the location where they're hiding Eri. Mm-hmm. And so I guess that was pretty much the highlight of everything, finding where Eri is at.
Yeah, that was like the best part because we got a lot of information how the quirk actually works, and we got information about like the base and like where Eri's actually being kept. So, like, the next important thing that happened in that episode was, like, they're just all getting ready. They meet up with the cops first thing in the morning. And then they get, like, a breakdown. They get a list of everybody's, like, quirks and powers of everybody in the Hasakai. Mm-hmm. And that was pretty cool. Like, Deku was saying, like, all the other students were like, that's not something that normally happens, but it's normal for the pros to get something like that. Yeah. So they go straight thing. I think it was, like, 8:30 in the morning, wasn't it? Around that time?
Morning.
Yeah. It was 8:30. And then they as soon as they're about to knock on the door or whatever, one of the members of the Hasakai group like broke down the door and it was that huge guy. Yeah. And then the dragon hero stopped them.
Yeah. So we get a little glimpse of how the dragon
that was cool.
Lady uses her quirk and how she fights. Mm-hmm. I guess she was the best fit for that big thing that came out of nowhere. Yeah. So we finally saw her, and who else did we see that started fighting? The one of the big three girl, she was left outside, correct?
Mm-hmm.
She was also left outside. And then who went inside?
Like everybody else. It was Mirio and Deku in the front leading the charge. Yeah. And they went in there. Yeah. And that was how the episode ended. But then we got like the little clip where Chisaki Overhaul was down there with Eri and was going to take her out and they were going to escape. That was like at the very end, that after credit scene. Yeah. And that's how that ended. Yeah. But yeah, that was just a pretty quick episode.
Just getting ready for it.
It was just building up to this next episode that we just saw. So this episode we just got done watching was 71, Suneater of the Big Three. And it starts out with like a flashback of Tamaki and it was Tamaki, when he first got into the class as a transfer student.
It shows how he was and how shy he was and how self-conscious he is about himself, and I guess him thinking that Mirio is so this bright, strong student, and then he thinks that he's just a nobody. Yeah. He doesn't have confidence on himself.
And we got that little shot where he was just alone in the classroom and nobody wanted to talk to him except for Mirio. Yeah. And that's when he was like comparing Mirio to the sun because he was so bright and he had all that energy.
And that's kind of when they had that conversation when they were like back, I guess kids or back in the day, that he thinks that he's a sun, and then they kind of connected to me the Suneater, and then Mirio mentioned to him that if he's the sun, then Tamaki is like better than the sun, I think, or something like that. He said something like that.
I think that was later in the episode, I think. It's just like in another flashback, right? I think it was during the fight when they were doing that.
Yeah.
Okay. So after that we get the opening, and then they all rush in, right? They all rush in, and then they're following Night Eye. That's what's happening. They're following Night Eye, and they get to that little flower vase thing, and he puts that code in, and it opens that secret passage. So they get in, and then we get another, like, more in-depth explanation how Night Eye's quirk works. So he was still remembering all that stuff like it was a movie, he said. So he was able to copy the code and do it exactly how he did in the vision of his quirk. So they get in there, and then we get that shot of the guy injecting himself with the drug that powers up the quirk. And then he gets absorbed into the wall, and they called it Mimic, his quirk, so he can take possession of inanimate objects.
Yeah.
So
he started just moving around the walls and the floor and the ceiling and everything, and kind of made everything much harder for them to keep going.
Yeah, it was like an infinite maze, they said, right?
Yeah, but we know that Mirio can pass through walls, and so I guess he was the best person to keep going, if anybody, and so he did.
He just went on ahead.
But the rest of them got, like, he created this hole.
He dropped them down into that hallway.
With the three enemies.
Yeah, from the Hoside group.
Villains, yeah.
And then right away, like, Eraserhead just stops their quirks, which was super impressive on his part. He's just already thinking ahead, and the cops are like don't shoot, because I guess they all get that debriefing with the information of the quirks, and that's when Tamaki uses his quirk and, like, holds them all in place, and he's just saying, like, I got this, I'll take care of it, y'all go on ahead. He said, don't waste the pro's strength on just these guys, you need it further down. And that's another, like, hero moment for him.
Yeah.
And everyone, especially Red Riot, he was like, we're not going to help him, no one's going to stay here and, like, work together. And Fat Gun was like, let's go. Like, he said, just go. Because he believes in the strength of his student, and for the guy who works for his agency. Yeah. So he knows what he's capable of. He even said he was, like, the strongest or the most capable. I can't remember exactly what he said. And they shouldn't worry. It's just he's emotionally weak is what he said. Yeah.
But I guess it's good that we got to know him first, Tamaki. And then we all know that he's gonna show his true strength in the moment that he's just by himself with the three villains. And I think the three villains, all of their quirks, it was like perfect for the villains to have Tamaki, because it's the guy that, which one is it? The one that eats food.
I can eat anything. Yeah.
He can eat anything, and then the other one that makes
the crystals. Yeah.
And then the other one that's
he likes bring stuff to him.
Yeah.
Anything they're wearing is what he said. Anything.
Yeah, and basically his quirk, Tamaki's quirk, he wears
the armor.
Yes. The octopus. And, was it a crab or?
Yeah, the hard shells that he was putting on. Yeah.
And so it was just like, for the villains, it's perfect for them.
It's perfectly shut down.
But for Tamaki, it's like he needs to think of a way how to manage that. And so he did. But how did he? How did you think he was gonna do it?
I was gonna like worried what was gonna happen, because the fight, he was fighting pretty well, especially when he did that hybrid Kraken thing, and then that's when the guy that Eraserhead knocked out at the beginning, woke up. He started eating the tentacles and all that. And then he was able to get like the crystallized guy got a clean hit on him, and they had him against the wall like pinned, and they're about to finish him off, I guess. And just the way they were talking, he could tell that they were very in tune with each other and worked well and trusted each other, and they were actually friends and not just
they're not
blindly following.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have their own purpose of why they're doing it.
Yeah. It was like Chisaki gave them a purpose, kind of, to fight for him. Because they were talking about how society like rejected them and they were betrayed and stuff like that.
So I think like they're like trying to prove to everybody something for themselves. It's not they're doing it because they're scared that they might get killed. They did have a purpose.
Yeah, but then during that part of the episode, we paused it for a second and you wrote down like your prediction about how he's gonna get out, because I couldn't remember exactly what happened. I thought they were just gonna get finished.
Yeah, I wrote it down.
Yeah. What did you write down?
I wrote here, he can eat their quirks. But it depended. If I was right, I was going to say it. If I was wrong, then I'm not going to mention anything. Because maybe that was a stupid idea. But then the title says, or what they call him is Suneater. And we know that his quirk, he eats animals. And he can turn into whatever animal he ate. But then the fact that they're calling him Suneater, sun is not an animal, obviously, tells me that he may just be able to eat other stuff
like
too.
Anything, yeah.
And the fact that when he got cornered by the three of them, he can't do anything. Everybody, they took everything that he had, and so what else he's got? He's got their quirks.
Yeah.
And so what can he do? Eat their quirks. And so that's what he did. And so now I'm mentioning it because it was great.
Yeah,
it was right.
You definitely called it, and he's able to get them all lined up, and he used that trust that they had with each other to finish them off, because that guy wouldn't eat the crystal guy when he was in line with him.
Yeah.
And he was able to knock them all out and finish the job, and that was how the episode ended. And we got that really heroic scene with Tamaki, and it was really great how it showed that he was actually a hero and he was strong and he can live up to Mirio's expectations.
We all know that he's strong. He wouldn't be part of Big Three for nothing. We just want to see how he can prove he's strong. And so now we were able to see it.
His actual how he used his quirk.
Yeah.
But that was how the episode ended, and then we got the preview scene at the end. It was Fat Gum and Red Riot, Kirishima.
So I feel like this next episode is going to be another spotlight for Red Riot.
Yeah, I love him, though.
I love him. I love him, too. I think he's great. And it's good that we're going to see more of him. So can't wait to see the next episode.
All right. Thanks, guys.